Well, good morning and thanks for joining me. I'm coming to you today from my family's gift wrapping station as a reminder that there are only 4 shopping days left until the big day. But I come to you from here also as a reminder that in giving presents, it's the thought that counts. Oh, it's not my saying, you've heard it before. But in this time of year, we can see how this plays out. Take, for example, small kids and the gifts they give their parents. Sometimes they make presents that will never end up in art galleries, or sometimes they buy presents that will never make the internet's list for the gifts of the year. But these gifts, these presents to their parents, they're priceless because it's the thought behind them. It's the thought that counts. And this can be comforting because though we may not always hit the mark in giving gifts, if the gift was thoughtful, if the gift reflects a close knowledge of the person, then that gift will be received gratefully. And it will be treasured because, as the saying goes, it's the thought that counts. But unfortunately, in gift giving, the inverse can also be true. When a gift is given without thought or consideration, it can disappoint. You know the type of gifts that I'm talking about. The gifts that were just purchased to be purchased, so that the giver could check it off their list of things to do. I remember a relative that every year would send us kids 5 McDonald's McBucks. Now that might have been great for some families, but our family never went to McDonald's. So yes, we got a gift every year from that relative, but it didn't mean much to us. Why? There was no thought put into that gift. In our relationship with Jesus, the Bible tells us that it isn't the thought that matters, but it is faith that matters. Hebrews chapter 11 is a great example of this. The chapter starts out by saying, "Now faith is a confidence in what we hope for and assurance of what we do not see." This is what the ancients were commended for, and then it launches into a long list of heroes in the Bible and what they accomplished, what they did through faith. And in verse 6, the writer of Hebrews tells us that without faith, it is impossible to please God. Think of that. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. If we accepted Jesus when we were younger, it might have been easier to walk in faith that Jesus would provide, that He would show us the way. But then we got older and we gained more responsibilities. We got married and had families. We bought houses and had mortgages and 401ks. And all of these things in their own ways, they offer to us a sense of security. And if we're not careful, our trust for tomorrow can shift from the Lord to these things that He has provided for us. In these times, it's important to remember in all chapters of our lives that without faith, it's impossible to please God. But faith not only pleases God, faith in God is powerful. Listen to what Jesus said in Matthew 19:26. With men it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Or listen to what Paul wrote to the Corinthian church in 2 Corinthians 1:9 and 10. He said, "Yes, we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in God who raises the dead, who delivered us from so great a death and does deliver us." So if you're facing a tough situation this holiday season, if you don't know how it is going to turn out, remember how God questioned His people in their hard times through the prophet Isaiah in Isaiah chapter 50 verse 2, when He asked them, "Is my hand shortened at all that it cannot redeem, or have I no power to deliver?" Know that God does have the power to deliver, and that He knows the beginning and the middle and the end. Trust Him and remember that with God, faith counts. Have a great day. Ciao.